For the bright side of branding, business, and being your own boss. Hey bosses, it's Sunny Lenarduzzi, and you know we only tackle the most serious topics on The Sunny Show. And I have kept quiet on this topic for long enough, so I'm weighing in today, weighing all the pros and cons. You probably know what this is about. Instagram stories versus Snapchat. Which one is better for your business? You guys want to know? So I'm going to be giving you all the details in today's video. All right, let's start with the similarities because there's a lot of them. And I know a lot of you are thinking, why would I ever use Snapchat? Obviously, I'm just going to use Instagram and it's the exact copycat of Snapchat. But here's what I want you to consider. Instagram would only take this step and create this part of their platform if they knew that Snapchat was working and that brands were buying in. So Snapchat is still a huge platform that is making a lot of money and doing a lot of incredible things, and it's at the forefront of social media, and that's why Instagram came in and created this product. It's a huge compliment for Snapchat. So what is similar about them? Well, it's a lot of similarities in how they operate. They both rely on photos and videos that you post to a story, and you can compile as many photos and videos into your story as you want, and they both only last for 24 hours. So your story expires after 24 hours. All right, now let's talk about why I like Instagram stories. There's great things about both of these platforms. So the first part is it keeps you relevant on Instagram. The engagement rate has fallen a little bit on Instagram for photos and videos that you post to your feed. And so if you're posting to Instagram stories, it keeps you top of mind. If your followers are following a lot of people, which we all are, it's a really cluttered feed. But the great thing is your Instagram story stays at the very top of that feed on the homepage when people open it. So they're gonna see you and then think, oh, I should go check out the profile. And it also humanizes you. So it takes people behind the scenes of your static photos on Instagram and shows you as a real human being. And I always talk about the fact, and a lot of people do, that the only way to really connect with your potential customers is to humanize your brand. Be a real person, talk about the things you love, show the behind the scenes of your workday and what you do at your office, and just take people into that story with you. So that's a really great way to stay top of mind and humanize your brand through Instagram stories. Another thing that I really, really love about Instagram stories is that it drives traffic. So whether you want to drive traffic to your latest Instagram post, you can tell people that in your story, keeping you top of mind again, or you can drive people to your conversion site. Another great thing about Instagram stories is a lot of you haven't even tried Snapchat. And if you haven't and you already have an audience on Instagram and a fairly big audience on Instagram, it's a great way to engage them further. And it really gives you a reason to not even go to Snapchat in the first place. You have the platform already built into Instagram. If you have the following there, then yeah, you can just utilize Instagram stories versus Snapchat. Okay. Where there's good, there's bad. So my main con with Instagram stories is that it's not quantifiable. On Snapchat, and I'll talk about this more later, if people screenshot one of your snaps, you'll know. So you're actually able to measure how much engagement and how many conversions you're getting from your Snapchat stories. There is one way to quantify your traffic and your viewers on Instagram stories, and that's by using custom links. So if you use a custom bit.ly link, for example, on your Instagram stories, you can track how many people use that and went from your Instagram stories to your conversion site. The other thing that I'm not a huge fan of on Instagram is that you're having to fight for attention against a lot of other different variables. Because people natively go to Instagram to scroll through a feed, we're not quite used to going there just to view stories, even though it's at the top of the feed right when you open the app. So you're fighting against a lot of other things, a lot of other visual stimulus in Instagram and trying to get attention on your story, whereas on Snapchat, people are strictly there to watch your story. So the attention and the engagement rate is a lot higher on Snapchat than it is on Instagram. Now on to Snapchat, which you know I love, and I love them both equally really at this point, but the reasons that I love Snapchat is because it's easier to quantify your success, your engagement, and your conversion. So on Instagram, yes, you can take a look at how many people have viewed your story and you can see exactly who has viewed your story. But like I said before, you can't see how many people are screenshotting your snaps or your Instagram story photos or videos to see where the traffic is actually going and how many people are actually taking action on your story. Whereas on Snapchat, For example, the engagement rate is super high. There's an example where I talked about a clicker that I loved using with Snapchat that allows you to take snaps without actually having to use your hands on your phone, so through Bluetooth. So I talked about it and then gave people a link to go and purchase it. I had a 10% conversion rate, or a 10% engagement rate on it, and then I had a 25% conversion rate. So 25% of the people who actually screenshot it went and purchased it. And there are brands on Snapchat like Taco Bell that have an 88% engagement rate on their snaps. On other social platforms, Instagram, it's 3 to 5%, Facebook, it's 1 to 2%. So those kinds of engagement and conversion rates aren't seen anywhere else. The reason why this happens on Snapchat is because people are strictly there to view your stories, and it's not an easy process to find somebody and follow them. So if somebody is following you on Snapchat, it means that they're going to be super engaged in what you're saying because they don't even know what you're talking about. There's no feed, they don't see what their friends are liking, they don't see what their friends are viewing. They're just actively going, clicking on your story and hoping that it's good. So you need to give them a good story to keep them tuned in, but once you have them there, they are the kind of audience that's going to take action. So it's my smallest audience of all my social platforms on Snapchat, but it's my most engaged, and it actually drives the most engagement and the most conversions. Now, the main con of using Snapchat is that if you haven't started building a following yet, it's a little more difficult now than it ever was before. It's never been super easy to build a big following on Snapchat because it is a completely separate platform, and if you have Instagram, you already have a built-in audience for your stories. But like I said earlier, it's not about the quantity of your following on Snapchat, it's really about the quality. Like I said, my following on Snapchat is the smallest out of all of my social platforms, but I get the most engagement and conversion, so it definitely is worth a shot. So how do I use both of these platforms? And I use both of them because I think that there's a place for both of them. And I actually don't really love pitting one social platform against the other, or when a new social platform comes out thinking that every other one is going to die, because we've seen that there's really enough room for everyone, and everyone serves a different purpose. So for me, how I use it is Instagram stories are really a highlight reel, and they tell a story about what I'm posting with my static photos or videos on my feed. And what I do is I use my Instagram audience that's built in, and I tell them to go and watch the full story on my Snapchat account. So I'll provide my Snap code and I'll show them where to go on Snapchat to see the full story. So I'm building my Snapchat audience by leveraging Instagram stories. Pretty easy to do. It works really well for me. And if you want to post more to your Instagram story and not just have your entire story on Snapchat, you can post at least the highlights from your Snapchat story to your Instagram story. And that's super easy to do. You can download your content and then just re-upload it onto Instagram. And here's a quick tutorial on how to do that. So you go to Snapchat and record. Of course, add your favorite filter if you feel like it. I'm gonna go with a classic. I think I'm gonna go with a deer. And once you've recorded it, add your filters, add your text, whatever else you want to add. Save it to your memories on Snapchat, and then you open up your memories at the very bottom. It's the small circle below where you record on Snapchat. Open that, and then go to select by tapping the check mark, and then select the clip that you want to download to your camera roll. Download it. And then you open up Instagram. Tap on the plus sign on the top left side to add to your Instagram story. Pull down, so scroll down, and you'll see all of the clips that you can add to your Instagram story that you put on your camera roll. So that's where you've saved your snap, and that's where you can grab it and put it on your Instagram story, edit it however you want. Plus, press the check mark at the very bottom, and then it's added to your story. So you've just added a snap from Snapchat to your Instagram story. Now, say you want to take a part of your Instagram story and add it to Snapchat. Just at the very bottom, if you tap the three little dots, you can hit Save Video. And then you go to Snapchat, and again, go to the small circle at the bottom and go to Camera Roll and select the video that you want to add to your Snap story. So all you got to do is press edit and send at the bottom, and then just add it to your story. So then you've taken an part of your Instagram story and added it to your Snap story. So it makes making content a lot easier and a lot less effort if you can just repurpose from each of your accounts. But again, try and use Instagram as the highlight reel and try to use Snapchat as the full story so you're not posting the same thing on both platforms. And there you go, it's added to your story. And a final bonus tip, keep in mind that for your content to work on either platform and to actually drive any kind of action for your business, you need to keep it relevant to your target audience, entertaining, inspiring, and educational. So those keys to good content always apply, and they definitely apply when telling your stories on Snapchat and on Instagram. Make it something that your audience actually wants to see and actually cares about. So keep it on brand for your business and you'll do just fine on both platforms. And if you want more clarity on either of these platforms, I've linked below this video to another video that I did on how to break the Instagram algorithm, and it'll show you my top tips for getting more exposure and growing your following on that platform a lot faster probably than what you're used to. And on Snapchat, I have the top 10 ways to grow your Snapchat audience in a free download below this video. And if you want even more clarity than that, join myself and thousands of other bosses in the Be Your Own Boss Mastermind group on Facebook. The link to join is below this video. If you like this video, hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode.
The Sunny Show.